Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Fandom Lore. If you've watched Kane Pixel's Backrooms series, you've probably seen the name Async appear over and over again. Whether it's on documents, equipment, VHS tapes, or research facilities, Async is always somewhere in the background. And honestly, once you understand who Async is, you start to realize they're one of the most important parts of the entire Backrooms story. Because in Kane Pixel's universe, the Backrooms isn't just a random place people accidentally fall into. It's a place that was discovered, explored, and ultimately exploited by a company called Async Research Institute. So today, let's break down the Backrooms, Async Corp, and how everything connects together. The Backrooms began as a simple internet horror concept. The original idea was that if someone somehow no-clipped out of reality, like a character glitching through the map in a video game, they could end up trapped in an endless maze of yellow rooms. No windows, no exits, no people, just yellow wallpaper, damp carpets, fluorescent lights, and the constant sound of electrical buzzing. That location became known as Level 0. But Kane Pixels took that simple idea and expanded it into something much bigger. In his version of the story, the Backrooms is actually part of a massive alternate dimension known as the Complex. Level 0 is only one small section of it. Beyond those familiar yellow rooms are countless other locations. There are flooded areas, industrial facilities, abandoned corridors, underground spaces, strange city-like environments, and places where the laws of physics seem completely broken. Some locations appear stable, while others constantly change over time. The deeper people explore, the stranger things become. And that's where Async enters the story. Back in the late 1980s, Async Research Institute was conducting advanced scientific experiments involving space, energy, and dimensional research. Their goal wasn't originally to create the Backrooms. Instead, they were trying to develop technology that could fundamentally change how humanity uses space. During one of their experiments, they discovered something extraordinary, a doorway connecting our reality to another dimension. That doorway became known as a threshold. Through the threshold, Async gained access to the Backrooms. For most people, discovering an unknown dimension would probably be a reason to stay away. For Async, it looked like an opportunity. The company believed the Backrooms could solve some of humanity's biggest problems. Need more storage space? Use the Backrooms. Need room for future expansion? Use the Backrooms. Need new infrastructure without taking up land in the real world?
The Backrooms. From Async's perspective, they had discovered an infinite amount of usable space, and they wanted to control it. So they began sending exploration teams inside. Researchers entered the complex carrying cameras and scientific equipment. Their mission was simple: map the environment, study its behavior, and understand what existed beyond the threshold. At first, the project seemed successful. Async established research outposts, they created observation rooms, they documented different areas, and they started gathering information about this strange new world. But it quickly became clear that the Backrooms wasn't just empty space. The environment behaved in ways that shouldn't have been possible. Rooms appeared where they weren't supposed to exist. Architecture changed unexpectedly. Distances didn't always make sense, and some explorers reported strange experiences involving time, memory, and perception. Then, things became even worse. The exploration teams discovered they weren't alone. Entities existed within the Backrooms. Some appeared vaguely human. Others looked completely alien. Many were hostile. Among the most famous examples are creatures like the Bacteria, an entity that appears throughout several Kane Pixels videos and has become one of the most recognizable monsters in the series. As Async pushed deeper into the complex, encounters with these entities became more frequent. People disappeared. Communication was lost. Entire expeditions sometimes vanished without explanation. Yet, despite the growing danger, Async continued expanding its operations. And that's one of the reasons many fans view Async as both fascinating and disturbing. They weren't trapped victims trying to survive. They were actively choosing to explore deeper into a place they barely understood. The company became obsessed with discovering what the Backrooms was and how it worked. Even when things started going wrong, they kept moving forward. Another important figure in the lore is Ivan Beck, one of Async's leading executives. Throughout the series, Beck appears committed to the idea that the Backrooms could revolutionize humanity's future. He saw the project as something historic, something worth pursuing despite the risks. But as the story progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that the risks were far greater than anyone anticipated. One of the biggest mysteries in Kane Pixel's Backrooms is the true nature of the complex itself. Nobody knows exactly what it is. Some theories suggest it's connected to advanced physics, physics. Others believe it's linked to alternate dimensions. Some fans even speculate that the Backrooms somehow responds to human consciousness, using memories, fears, and familiar environments as building blocks for its architecture. So far, Kane Pixels hasn't revealed a definitive answer, and that's part of what makes the story so interesting. The Backrooms remains mysterious, the entities remain mysterious, and even Async never fully understood what they had discovered.
By the time many of the major incidents occur in the timeline, it becomes obvious that Async has lost control of the situation. Their technology allowed them to open the door, but opening the door and controlling what's on the other side turned out to be two very different things. And that's really the core of the entire story. The Backrooms isn't just about monsters hiding in dark hallways. It's about human curiosity. It's about ambition. It's about a company discovering something incredible and believing it could master it, only to realize far too late that some things aren't meant to be controlled. That's why Async is such an important part of the lore. Without Async, the Backrooms is simply a strange location. With Async, it becomes a story about exploration, obsession, and the consequences of pushing beyond the limits of human understanding. But what do you guys think? Do you believe Async was trying to help humanity, or do you think they were simply too arrogant to see the danger in front of them? And what's your favorite piece of Backrooms lore from the Kane Pixels universe? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss future lore videos, theories, and Backrooms deep dives. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.